Well, how happy are you guys to kind of be ready and entering into the postseason as the number 6 seed?
Very excited. Of course, we thought that we could have done a little better, but really grateful to be going to the MIAA tournament and really, really happy to be playing UCO again.
Looking at playing in the tournament for a second consecutive year, how do you hope that last year's experience up there is going to help you this year?
It definitely helps knowing that we didn't play as hard as we should have last year, and it was also eye-opening to know how good the conference is and that everyone can come back, everyone can upset teams that are in the first or second seed, and I think that entering as a team in the sixth seed, it's going to be huge for us to be able to do that as well. So
And you guys played pretty well in your one match up there. You guys were the 8 seed trying to knock off the number 1 seed. How do you try to turn things around? The Broncos obviously had a really good match against you in the regular season finale. How do you try to flip that around in your favor?
well, since we played them first time, we're gonna use that in our advantage. We know, the things that we can be better at, things that we can, know about them that we can use. So we're definitely gonna, take that on our side and try to use it as best that we can.
Katie.
You guys have just made such a big jump from where you were record-wise last year. Just how different does this team feel this year? Ending the regular season above 500. Just how much of a jump do you think you guys have made?
I think that the biggest difference from last year was that we have a lot of players that can play in different positions, which is not something that you can see in other sports. I think that we have a lot of players that adapted moving from the middle to the right side, players that were hitting that went and played back row as liberos, and I think that that's a huge, huge thing and a great advantage of our team. And I think that that's what helped us kind of just fill in some parts of like people that had injuries and things like that. So that kind of helped us level it out and try to be consistent throughout the season. So.
Yeah. Do you think you guys have also had just better team chemistry this year as well?
I think that it definitely helped having the same girls that we had last year coming back. Last year we were a brand new team, and so it was a little hard to get to know each other very well. But I think that we all are here, for one purpose and make the program better. And I think that the more people we bring in that have that attitude like we do have this year, the better it is.
That's it for me.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
How exciting is it to come into the program in your first year and help improve things in 1 year and get back to the MIAA tournament?
It's definitely excited. Even though I move across the globe, I feel like volleyball is still volleyball. So I'm really happy to be a part of like this program, and I'm a really bubbly person when I play. So I'm very happy that I get a chance to like bring that out on the court and like use my personality to like help the team better and help us to have a lot more fun on the court.
Well, not only did you move continents, but you moved around positions a lot
Yeah.
this year. You were libero. You had nearly 30 kills in a match. How have you kind of adjusted to the very differing assignments that Coach Murczek has given you?
I always knew that like passing, like serve, receive, and defense was always my strength because I'm not the tallest player on the court. And I've always, not always, I've played libero like as fun back at home. Was my first time like really playing libero during the game. I feel like to be like a good athlete, you will have to adjust to different things that the team needs. Maybe like I wasn't doing as good hitting wise, but I was doing pretty good defense. So that's why like coach made some adjustments, which I feel like was very necessary. So I feel like no matter what coach's assignments for me is, I have to be prepared to like help the team in either position.
And then seeing a team like Central Oklahoma, obviously only 2 losses, you guys know firsthand how good that they are. How does it help you guys focus on what you need to do to get better or to play better after you see them play a match like they can play about as good as they can play against you in the regular season?
I feel like our last game we played against them, our mental wasn't prepared because we had like a good game the day before when we played Arkansas, Fort Smith. And I feel like coming back, like we had some team meetings and the coaches had some chat with us, just letting us see their vision and letting us understand how good we are as well, and not going in thinking that they're better than us, or even though they are, but like we have to play to a standard as well. And like I feel like for us, our team, I feel like it's just going out there and performing and doing the best we can do and not thinking so much of who's before us and what rank we are at.
Katie.
Well, I know it's your first year with Emporia State, but just what have been your take on the team chemistry so far this year?
Like for me, it's definitely good to like be in America and like have these teammates that I have right now. Like we spend a lot of time not only on the court but like off the court, which I really, really love. You said like the team chemistry. I feel like it's really nice. I remember after like our first away game when we traveled and we had like a reflection, and I remember the thing that I loved the most was like just how we go to restaurants, we talk, we do things together. So I really like the off-court dynamic between the team and the coaches, and it makes me enjoy the program a lot more.
Yeah, and last year team finished below 500. This year, way above 500, winning record. Just what do you think has contributed the most to such a big jump this year?
I'm sure like the players that came in this year is a lot different than the team before. And I feel like just how specific and detailed our coach are like during practice, that I really love, like help us be more prepared and more structured during the game, and like us as a team communicating like during the plays, during practice, try to help us be more prepared and more engaged and more successful as a team. And I feel like that really helped us this year.
That's it for me.
I would be happy to. Well, Coach, here back in the MIAA tournament for a second straight year. Last year you talked about moving the needle is kind of your catchphrase last year. And this year you get to a winning record and you move it a little bit more. In terms of how the program has continued to take strides, how proud of you of what this group has already accomplished?
Well, I don't play, so the credit kind of goes to the girls, and they've done an outstanding job, I think, of, as I've said before, raising the bar of just what the expectation level is of the program. I had a vision when I actually interviewed for the job 2 years ago of what I thought could be done here, and you never know what that timeline is going to look like, and you don't know how fast success is going to happen. I think we improved it last year, and I was thankful that we got in, even as the 8th seed. I wanted our program to experience going to postseason of what that feels like, especially at a neutral venue. And I was thankful that we got that opportunity last year. And, unfortunately, we came in as the 8th seed, and you had to play the 1 seed, and that team was really good last year. Well, really no different this year. We're going to go play, a team that's, ranked 10th in the country. And, as I reflected back on, and I actually, mentioned to the team in the preseason, I break it up into 3 seasons. We have a preseason, we have the first half of conference, we have the second half of conference, and no guarantees. You hope you have a 4th season, right? And so, yesterday kind of started we started a new season, yesterday, and we reflected a little bit, and so did I, just on kind of how we got to here and what we've done to earn the right to play this week. And I'm a little disappointed that we went 3 times in conference play, once with Western and twice with Washburn. And if we come out on the right side of those, our seed would have been dramatically different. But I'm also, thankful that we went 8 times and won 5 of them. So, because I knew, I know very well after doing this for over 20 years that, 5th set, you usually flip a coin. So, yeah, I'm proud of the team. I'm really, the girls that have been here since I've gotten here, and I think the girls that, were here before me. So, like an Ainsley Stepp or somebody like that, has spent 4 years in the program, and I think really bought into my vision when I got the job 2 years ago. I'm most proud of them I always challenge the older players, and I challenged the seniors last year. Can you leave it better than you found it? And I think they've done an absolutely tremendous job of doing that. And I know they're going to be able to walk out of here, win, lose, or draw this weekend, that they helped make it better. And, I'm really proud of them for doing that, because that's not an easy task.
Well, when you have a brand new season, there's so many different ways that you can look and how you want to think about that as a coach as you go into your fourth season, so to speak. But you don't often get to play the same opponent right next to each other. So how helpful is that fourth season to kind of push the reset button on a really good Central Oklahoma performance and help your girls get some belief that they can go up there and shock the bronze and gold?
Well, we've done a wonderful job this season of what I call having short-term memory. We've been able to get pounded in a set and then come back and win the next one. Well, it happened maybe this weekend, right? That we lose the fourth bad and, can reset for the fifth. So I've got confidence in our team that I think will be more competitive on Thursday than we were last weekend on Saturday. I do think that, travel and, us playing, I think at maybe some of the best volleyball we played all season was on Friday night, and to turn around and mentally, emotionally, physically put a lot in on Friday night. The tank wasn't probably as full as it needed to be on Saturday, and we knew it was going to be a tall task. And I was pretty disappointed, to be honest with you, because we forced them to call the first time out in the first set, and we had given them half of their points. Now, thankfully, they did the same for us. They were very nice, that first half. But I look at it as an advantage. I kind of feel like, hey, I love playing somebody that we just played and sparred with, and we can come back and see what worked and what didn't work, and try to figure out what they did that caused problems for us and try to patch it. So I'm encouraged. I had joked with our friends just north of us. I was joking with him all season. I said, it's hard to beat a team 3 times, because I thought that's who we would get matched up with. I thought they'd be 3, we'd be 6, and I was really looking forward to that one, since we went 5 both times with them. And I can kind of poke Coach Heron as much as I can. He's old and grumpy. I need to give him a hard time as much as I can. So, but it didn't work out that way, and this new conference standings, us using a KPRI rating system is, I think, something that everybody's going to try to get adjusted with or used to, because I look at it from we beat Northwest both times, and and then we get seated behind them, and you try to make the team understand, like, hey, how does that work, and I get it, right, because we added another team and we're not going to play a true double round. Like, I totally understand it. But, I think just even for the girls to understand, like, hey, why are they 5 and we're 6? We beat them twice. And, you have to do some education. And I think even that, to be honest with you, has been really helpful for our program to make them understand that, we want to play in the NCAA tournament. And we're fortunate enough to play in a conference that gets at-large bids. And what's an at-large bid? And how does that work? And what's a MIAA rating? And what's a regional ranking? And what is? And I think for our program, those are all great things that, this year we've been able to have those conversations with our team, which, again, to me is, taking a step in the right direction.
Okay.
Just, do you preach to your team that, when it comes to the tournament, like, seedings don't matter, forget about the seedings, kind of?
Yeah, it's funny you use the word preach, because there's probably, I'd be interested to know what the players said about what's Coach Ken preach every day, or I'm trying to instill belief in them and help them understand that we have a great opportunity and we've earned the right. But as far as numbers, I approach it like we got to hopefully win the next match and give ourselves a chance for the next one, and whoever it is or whatever the number is doesn't really denote much. I mean, it's lose or go home. I mean, and I think everybody knows that. And so, 8 versus 1 like we were last year. We had gone 5 with Central Missouri at home, a couple weeks before the conference tournament last year. I know our girls walked into that believing that this wouldn't be unbelievable for us to beat them in the first round. And I think our girls are very well aware. Yesterday, we watched all of their kills against us to start practice, because I wanted our girls to know, like, did they take some great swings? Absolutely. but we also did not make, plays. About half of their points were on plays that I think should have been made. And I want them to believe and understand that we can be a little better. It's going to make it tougher on them, and regardless if they're the 1 seed or the 3 seed. I'm hoping that Central Oklahoma has some PTSD from last year. They were the 2 seed and they lost to the 7 seed last year. I'm hoping that a lot of those players walk in there and we put some pressure on them and they start to panic and they start thinking about, whoa, we did this last year. We were supposed to win and we didn't. But all those things are talk, right? To me, you gotta prepare this week and hopefully walk in and play. In my opinion, we got to try to play our best match of the season. Because it's lose or go home.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at last year, ending the year below 500 to making such a big jump this year, so far 17-9, gonna have a winning record. Just if you had to pinpoint something that you think would be the biggest reason as to what made that jump, what do you think it would be?
I think the commitment level from the players. I think the players this year are committed at a higher level than they were last year. And I had mentioned even when I interviewed for this job that I can't come in and do everything I want to do day one because everybody would quit. I think the change would be so drastic that there would be no players. And I said, my goal is over time, each semester we will drip in a little bit more. And hopefully, as a coach, hopefully you have better results because there's no guarantees. It's one thing that draws me to this profession. This is not math. There is no formula that equals success. It's a challenge every day. And to me, this group, I think, has embraced the commitment at a higher level than maybe the group last year. And they won some, right? This group walked in this year having won and having some expectations put on them that, hey, last year we didn't lose to Pitt. We didn't lose to, the Fort Hayes, to Newman. We beat some of these teams that they hadn't, the girls before that hadn't experienced that. And so I think that raised the bar for their expectation level walking into this season to going, hey, we know we're supposed to be pretty good. And I love the fact that, we got picked down at the bottom again because to me that, again, is a number, but it also, shows that there isn't a high expectation. And I'm sure that'll change now for next year, and hopefully the group that we bring in next year, we ramp it up a little bit more, right? And I think the bar will go up again. But I'm excited, from the players that returned to the new players that joined us. We haven't played our best volleyball, and I think as a coach that's frustrating because I know what we're capable of in the practice gym. I get to see it every day, and we got to see it in spurts this season. And I'm hoping, Thursday we can go celebrate, win, lose, or draw, just us playing good, high-level volleyball over time. And I think if that happens, for me, that's going to be a success because we maximized or got closer to maximizing our potential because there's a lot of potential in our gym right now. And hopefully that'll bleed into next year.
That's it for me.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks for spending your time with us. Appreciate it.